Welcome to Intelligence Gateway.
IBM Back-End Development Lecture 5. In this lecture, we will learn about IBM Back-End Development Introduction to RESTful API Development, understanding REST principles, sizing and building RESTful apps, implementing CRUD operations, handling authentication in apps, handling authorization in apps. Conclusion. Introduction to RESTful API Development. Welcome to this presentation on Introduction to RESTful API Development. In today's world, web applications are becoming more and more complex. As a result, it's important to have a way for different applications to communicate with each other in a standardized way. This is where RESTful apps come in. RESTful apps provide a way for different applications to communicate with each other over the internet using HTTP requests. They are widely used in modern web development and have become an essential part of building scalable and reliable web applications. Understanding REST principles. REST stands for Representational State Transfer and is a set of architectural principles that define how web standards, such as HTTP and URLs, should be used to create web services. The core idea behind REST is that resources are represented by uniform resource identifiers and can be manipulated using standard HTTP methods like GET, POST, PUT, and DELETE. This makes it easy to build scalable and maintainable apps that can be accessed from any platform or device. Designing and building RESTful APIs. Designing and building RESTful APIs requires careful consideration of several key factors, including resource identification, HTTP methods, and response formats. Resource identification is a critical aspect of API design as it enables clients to locate and interact with specific resources. HTTP methods such as GET, POST, PUT, and DELETE are used to perform CRUD operations on these resources, while response formats like JSON and XML dictate how the data is structured and presented to clients. Implementing CRUD operations. When implementing CRUD operations in RESTful apps, it's important to follow best practices to ensure that your API is scalable, maintainable, and secure. The first step is to map the HTTP methods GET, POST, PUT, DELETE to the corresponding CRUD operations: read, create, update, delete. Next, you'll need to design your API endpoints to reflect the resources you want to expose. Each endpoint should correspond to a specific resource and include the appropriate HTTP method for the desired CRUD operation. For example, a GET request to users should return a list of users, while a POST request to users should create a new user. Handling authentication in APIs. Authentication is a critical aspect of API development, as it ensures that only authorized users can access sensitive data and functionality. Without proper authentication, apps are vulnerable to attacks and unauthorized access. There are several authentication methods available for RESTful apps, including Auth Web Tokens. JWT is a widely used standard for authentication and authorization, while JWT is a stateless authentication mechanism that uses JSON objects for authentication. Tokens. Both methods have their advantages and disadvantages, and the choice depends on the specific requirements of the application. Handling authorization in APIs. Authorization is a critical aspect of RESTful API development, as it ensures that only authorized users or systems can access sensitive data or perform certain actions. One common approach to handling authorization in APIs is through the use of roles and permissions. Roles define a set of actions or operations that a user or system can perform, while permissions specify which resources or endpoints those actions can be performed on. Conclusion. In conclusion, understanding and implementing RESTful API development is crucial in modern software development. By adhering to REST principles, developers can create efficient, scalable, And maintainable OP is that facilitates seamless communication between different applications and services. Designing and building RESTful APIs require thoughtful consideration of the resources, endpoints, and data representations. Properly designing the API with a consistent and intuitive structure ensures better usability and adoption by developers. Implementing CAUD create, read, update, delete operations is a fundamental aspect of RESTful APIs, allowing clients to interact with resources using standard HTTP methods like POST, GET, PUT, and delete. Handling authentication in APIs is essential to secure access and protect sensitive data. Using authentication mechanisms like API keys, AUTH, or JWT web tokens ensures that only authorized users or applications can access the API. Handling authorization in APIs complements authentication by controlling what actions different authenticated users can perform on resources. Implementing proper access controls and permissions ensures data privacy and security. In conclusion, mastering RESTful API development requires a solid understanding of REST principles, thoughtful API design, efficient CRUD implementations, and robust authentication and authorization mechanisms. By following best practices and staying updated on emerging trends, developers can build powerful and reliable APIs that form the backbone of modern software applications.
Thanks for watching. For more information, like, comment, and subscribe our channel.